I don't want anyone to take it as if like, oh my goodness, she's talking about trying to put robots in and having robots changing babies' diapers. No, no, that is not what I'm talking about. I am referring to the back end of your business. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Benz of Ashley Benz Consulting, where I help you start, automate, or expand a childcare business, and I do all those things over at ashleybenz.com. Now, I am the #1 childcare consultant that actually specializes in childcare business automation. And today, I actually want to talk about what is childcare business automation. So if you are interested in that topic, then go ahead and stay tuned. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this video today, you guys. So let's go ahead and grab us something to sip on, and let's hop directly into today's video. So the one thing that you're going to see in other industries, and you're going to be seeing other industry leaders doing right now, is honing in on automation for their business. Is automation for their businesses. But what you don't see a lot of is you don't see it talked a lot about in the childcare business industry. And so we are really behind when it comes to automating things in our businesses. Now, I have been talking about this since probably 2017, 2018. So it is something that I did for my childcare business, and it really, honestly, it just completely changed. It really was life-changing, just to be quite honest. So I won't get into that full backstory of all those things, but what I will tell you is that childcare business automation allowed me to go from a 50+ hour work week to a 25-hour work week. And so that will at least give you a little bit of information as to how life-changing that it was. So today, I want this video to serve as the beginning of a refresh of the topic for childcare business owners on this channel. And so the very first thing that I want to talk about is to give you the official definition of what childcare business automation is. But really quick, I just want to kind of give you, I guess would be a fun fact that a lot of people don't know, is that I am the actual first person to actually come up with the official definition for childcare business automation, and I am so proud of that. So if you actually go and Google, you will find the definition of childcare business automation, and you'll see that I am attached to that. So the actual definition is childcare business automation is where you put ecosystems and business processes in place through the use of software and technology that runs in the background of a childcare business to achieve automated business outcomes. Okay, so I know that's a whole mouthful there, and I am going to actually kind of break that all down and really kind of help you understand, like, how does that actually play a role in the day-to-day operations of your childcare business. Okay, so the very first part of that definition talks about ecosystems. And so what basically is an ecosystem for your childcare business? And essentially it's a system that can run without you. Okay, so it doesn't require you to have to be there for it to function. Now, the other part of the definition talked about business processes. And so what is business processes? Well, business processes is simply your operations, okay? It is all of the workflows that take place every single day that help you run your daycare business, okay? And so if you think about workflows, I guess maybe an example of a workflow is how families enroll with you, okay? That there is an entire workflow, or like what I like to better kind of call it is recipe. But there's steps that are taken for a family to go from unenrolled to enrolled. That is a workflow. And so when we have the ecosystems, those are the systems that are there that can run without you, because the beauty of an ecosystem is that it really kind of takes care of itself. So it doesn't really need the system, all the elements that are built within the system help it take care of itself. And so it doesn't really need you involved to be able to, reach a certain goal. And so then when we talk about those processes and the business processes, that's where we get into all of the little bitty steps that make up that entire ecosystem. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, if you are liking this video, go ahead and give this video a like right now. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you would love to be able to access this type of content for running and operating your childcare business, then you do want to be sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit your notification. So now let's go into the second part, or the later half of the definition. And let's really talk about, how does technology and software play a role in automation for a childcare business? Before I go into that, I do want to say this, because I know a lot of, and I've heard this say, a lot of people talk about this very often, the fact, well, actually, I just don't want things to be automated because I feel like it just takes out the personable aspects of my daycare business and my childcare business. And so I do want to address that really quick, and then we'll move on to talk about, how software and technology actually play a role. And so the thing about the automation is that it doesn't affect, the actual you being personable in your childcare business, but what it does is it helps you on the back end, okay? And so because, and I remember, but we wear so many different hats. And if you are not having something that can be running in the background of your childcare business, if you don't have something like that in place, then actually, to be honest with you, it's going to affect the personable interaction that you have with your family, staff, and children, because you're going to be burnt out, right? And they're going to see that. So I don't want anyone to take it as if like, oh my goodness, she's talking about trying to put robots in and having robots changing babies' diapers. No, that is not what I'm talking about. I am referring to the back end of your business, okay? And so had to get that out of the way. So let's talk about, though, how when the back end of your business can run without you, and when we can have systems and processes that don't require you to have to be involved in, it really does a lot for your childcare business, like increase quality, okay? And so what's an example of increasing quality, or how does the technology and software play in increasing the quality? Well, we've all seen this kind of come to the industry, where we have the apps where families can look and kind of check in on their child's day while they're at work. It also increases communication. And so families can, access you immediately, right? If they have a quick question or things like that, through the different types of apps that we're using now, families can, contact you. So whether it's through texting or Facebook, sending you guys a Facebook message, whatever the case is there. So that really does help increase quality. And I'm using customer service as one example that can help increase quality. One of the other things that it helps to decrease breakdowns, okay? And so so let's talk about like your staff. And so one really good example of a automation system that you can put in place is your hiring and onboarding, right? And so if you have a really good hiring automation system in place that really kind of takes your staff through how they get onboarded and how they get trained, then this really cuts down on breakdowns in your overall systems, because staff really know what it is that they need to do, and they understand what's expected of them, and they got that from the beginning, because you have an actual step-by-step process, you have workflows, and you have really taken out the time to really think about all these things before actually having a staff to come in and enter into your childcare business. So having automation and how the technology and the software systems play a role in your childcare business is it helps to decrease breakdowns, okay? Because again, and I'm using staff as an example, but your staff can they can get on your website, they can look up information, you can have your SOPs, which is your standard operating procedures, to be accessible across board. And so I know I'm actually working with a client right now who has a center. She's got 2 different centers in 2 different states. And so automation has really helped her be able to, streamline everything, because she's got one director that's going to be running both, but it's really helped her to streamline everything in different states. And so that is the beauty of automation, decreasing those breakdown in systems. Another thing that it does and how it plays a role as far as when we talk about the software and technology is that it can also increase your compliance with the state, because if you can employ more automated systems through the use of software and technology, you can actually go paperless. Now, I am aware that some states still want you to have, paper documents and things like that, and you can still have that. I know when we took my childcare business and we employed automation, we still had our files that were there, the ones that the state wanted to see, but anything else that they did not require paper on, it was all paperless. And so this really helps. I'll give you a really quick story about this. So when we implemented, we took all of our files, all the children's files, all the staff files, all the paperwork, and we actually put it on our own private network, okay, that we built. And I'll never forget this, but we had a licensing visit, just our normal yearly licensing visit. And my surveyor came in, and of course she knew me. And I was like, okay, I said, I'm going to do something different. This is the first time I've ever done this before. But I was like, you're going to sit here at this computer, all the children's files, all the staff files, all the documents you need are going to be right here. And she was just blown away. And she was like, you need to be teaching this to the other childcare businesses. She was like, we even go into like these big franchises and things like that, and they don't even have anything like this. So she was like, you need to be teaching this. So lo and behold, here I sit now. And you know what? So our rating that year was amazing. And also it decreased the time that the surveyor was there at my center. So normally if we were not paperless, normally they would be in there for like 4 hours straight, which is a long day. It's a long day for them to be in there. For us, the kids, like everything, it just really shifts the day, right? But normally they would be in there for 4 hours. This time it took her 2 hours. So we cut that in half. She got what she needed. She was off on her way. So that's just a really kind of backstory as to how it can increase your compliance, because everything is going to be there, and you can even put up systems and things like that to help, remember background checks and due dates and all those kind of things. Okay. So another thing that the use of technology and software can do is to decrease staff turnover rates. And again, I talked a little bit about having that hiring process, but you will be surprised that some of the most talented teachers and staff and candidates, they are looking for a streamlined company to work for, okay? And some of that is just because that's just kind of what they're used to, or they come from a background of, going into an early childhood education business or a school, and things are a little bit more streamlined than it would be on just a local level when it comes to running a childcare business. So just like your independent owners, that's what I'm trying to say. And so that can again decrease that staff turnover rate, because there's so many other systems that you can have in place, such as one of my popular ones is the automated sub-program system. This ensures coverage at all times, and it also allows for your staff to have that work-life balance and have flexibility that they might want, to take off and things like that. So there's just so much, and I could sit here and talk about this all day long. Okay. I love this stuff. I geek out on it. It is just where I go into a zone when I am working on childcare business automation, coming up with these workflows. And I feel like what it does for me, at least anyway, is it just allows me to be creative. So I am a natural creative just to begin with. So I just really like to go in and really get creative on different workflows and systems and things like that work for childcare businesses, and to really help you be able to have these things running in the background so that you can have a great work-life balance essentially, and have that increase your quality and decrease the breakdowns, and most importantly, increase that revenue. And so that leads me into my last point regarding how technology and software can really, how it plays a role in your childcare business, and that is increasing your revenue. Now, we all know that, hey, everybody wants to increase their revenue, right? The more revenue that you bring in, that means more profits that you can put back into your childcare business to be able to continuously to increase that quality. And so when we think about, well, how does automation, how does technology and software increase my revenue? Well, because you can put these things into your marketing efforts, and you can kind of move from I like to call it a bootstrap marketing efforts, where you're like boots on ground and having to do a lot of things manually, to automating your marketing efforts and literally just having things running 365 days a year, where you are marketing 365 days a year. Okay. And so when we're doing this, then your revenue is going to be increasing. And there's so many other things you can think about. So we go back to the compliance aspect of it, right? Well, the more that you're in compliance, right, the less fees that you're getting hit with, and fines and all those kind of things. And so, well, that's more money back into your pocket to be able to increase that revenue. Okay, so as I close out this video, because this is more of an overview, and in upcoming videos, I'm going to be talking more about childcare business automation. But I feel like right now, what would be some great next steps for you is to think about what things and what systems in your childcare business that are running right now that require you to have to be there for it to function, or you to have to do something with it, okay? And so I want you to really think about that. And what I want you to do is I want you to meet me in the comments, and I just want you to put down in the comments some systems that you that just require you to have to be there. So it could be accepting payments, it could be, grocery shopping, it could be whatever. Just think of those things that you would be like, okay, wow, how much time could I be saving if I didn't have to do these things? And if you put that in the comments down below, there are so many different automations and things you can put in place to be able to reduce your time and the time that you're spending doing some of those manual things in your childcare business. So put that down in the comments, okay? Let's start a conversation down there, and meet me down there, and I'm interested to see what you come up with. And then also, as I stated before, but I want you to also think of it like recipes. And so that's just the easiest way for me to think of it. So if you think about all the things that you do, the different workflows and systems, they are recipes. And so you are an ingredient in those recipes, okay? The ones that you have to be involved in, you are like an ingredient. So think about which ones are you an ingredient of that you would not like to be that main ingredient, right? Or an ingredient period that you just don't want to do anymore. And again, put those down in the comments. Okay, so thank you so much for being here today. I really hope that you got value out of today's video. And so what I want you to do is, if you're interested in having me help you in a one-on-one capacity, I am offering free discovery calls. And to qualify for these calls, you do have to be in a position where you are trying to start, automate, or expand your childcare business within the next 12 months. And so if you have a specific timeline or a date or a roundabout, and that falls within the next 12 months, and you're wanting to start, automate, or expand your childcare business, then you qualify for a free discovery call with me. And so there is going to be a link in that description box, so be sure to check that out. Also, I'm going to leave the resource page link as well. This link is going to take you to a page that just has loads of resources that just kind of guide you along as to some free stuff that I have for you that's going to allow you to dive deeper into Ashley Benz Consulting and Childcare Business Executive Tools. So that is down below. Also, be sure to check out the videos. It's either going to be here or here. So there's some other videos as well. And I'll see you in the next one. So I want this video today to be the, and so that's going to be my second, or not my second, but my, pause it, hang on.